I'm Matt Ruby, and I'm a stand-up comedian. And if I'm being honest, a bit of a control freak. I always want everything to be perfect, every word in the right place, you know? But that's got me wondering, what would it be like if I lost control? If I stepped outside of my comfort zone?
The next comedian is filming a special. It's a series of performances called Substance, where he performs one sober, one drunk, one high, and one on mushrooms. Are you guys ready for it? Yeah. Right, laughing right now for Matt Ruby! Woo-hoo! Give him lots of love.
Can you tell? I'm really blurring some lines right now, you know? Well, Look, you guys, weed is medicine now, all right? I don't know if you've realized. All my life I thought I was doing drugs. Turns out I'm a health fanatic, so. It's amazing. People are like, do you wake up in the morning and practice wellness? I'm like, yes, I do. Actually, yeah, every morning. Just getting high. I get high and go to IKEA. Have you ever gotten super high and gone to IKEA? You can convince yourself you live in a mansion. It's amazing. If you're high at IKEA, you're like, I'm not really feeling the blue bedroom this evening. Take me to the kitchens. It's opening drawers. What's inside? They put arrows on the floor. You just know where to go because there's an arrow. That's amazing if you're stoned. It's very helpful to just look down and be like, I'm going this way. And then the whole thing ends in meatballs, which is also perfect for stoners. So don't buy anything, though. You will not be able to put it together. So, is the set I'm going to do tonight the same set I'm going to do next week? I don't think so. But I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I have like an idea in my head, but also it could go sideways. I don't know, just sort of what happens if we try to be present in the moment and see how it turns out. But also, I got a plan, I think.
I got a plan, he said. Back off.
See, this is comedy. Come on, we're doing it.
Forgive the pun here, but this is like a high concept special.
Yeah.
Where did you come up with the idea?
I believe in all of these substances in their own way, and I've had great experiences on all of them, and I think it's like it's okay to own drug use in a productive, healthy way that gets you, connected. And if you use it mindfully, and I don't know. And then like I think drugs are holy and comedy is holy, and if you can bring them together in a way that you believe, maybe you can make something good happen. You guys seem fun. Right? You're here, you're fun. Got your arms folded, but you're still fun. I could tell. I got my arms folded in my head. I get it. I shaved my head today. It's not a statement, I'm just going bald. Because if you're a middle-aged white dude with a shaved head, I feel like people have assumptions, and I don't like it right now. It's kind of hot in these streets. People think you're like a skinhead, or a cop, or a Marine. I'd be like, no, I'm a Jew who loves shrooms and is afraid of the ocean. I'm not your man, all right? I'm barely a man, honestly. I don't want to give off white supremacist vibes. I don't want someone to be like, wait a minute, are you a proud boy? It's like, no, I'm a Jew. I'm not a proud boy. I'm an ashamed man, all right? No pride, just guilt. Proud Boys. But Proud Boys, I know they're a scary group. It's not a very scary name, though. Can we admit that? Proud Boys? It just sounds like a gay bar in Chelsea, doesn't it? Like, are you afraid of the Proud Boys? Like, I don't know, is it Mariah-themed karaoke night? I might be. I am Team Whitney all the way, bitch. I will always love you.
Okay. So
Happens at 9
Yeah.
in the morning.
you spoke about 30 minutes ago, and you did an edible about
Magic
an
typed
hour
out a
ago.
novel.
Yeah.
Where would you say you are right now in the high?
It's pretty intense because it's like I'm very aware of it, but then I'm also like here. I'm in the middle of New York City, which is such like a. It's like an absurd place to be.
Yeah.
So it's. I feel like things are vaguely absurd, but it all makes sense. So I'm at that stage of the high, whatever, whichever one that is. Then I'm really fucking high. These are my peanut butter cookies, which I've already had a lot. All right, that's good enough for now.
This is going to be interesting.
I mean, it's just weed.
Do you get like philosophical and get very high, or you just get like planted on the couch?
No, I get philosophical, but no, I'm like, I enjoy it. It's like the plants trying to give you a massage.
You do get philosophical.
I don't know. You know, these terms are nonsense. They gotta be nonsense. You gonna talk about your relationship that way? Nah, I don't want to do the rest of that joke. It's just, you know, some of them, they get all intricate, even for me, you know?
Oh, so it is the drug night.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right, that's exciting.
yeah.
I noticed you were too calm. Next week is booze.
I think so.
All right.
You ever perform drunk, Mark?
Oh yeah, it's not good.
What is it
High,
like?
I did well once, but booze it's a misconception.
What
Yeah.
happened?
Everybody thinks you're going to be loose and confident and funny and on, but you just can't think of anything. You're not quick-witted. You're slurring a little. It stinks. But it's exciting. It's a fun idea. It's never been done. You're high out of your mind.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch you eat it. I'm just kidding. I don't want to get in your head.
How come there are no female magicians, though? What's up with that? I've never seen a female magician all my life. Seen a lot of dude magicians, too many probably. Never a female magician. I have some theories. Theory number one for why there are no female magicians: women are not dorks and losers. That seems to be the fertile soil that magicians come out of. Theory number two is that there were a bunch of female magicians, then we called them witches, and ever since women have been like, I don't do magic, it wasn't me. I had nothing to do with these doves, I'm just hysterical. Yikes. And theory number three, women don't have to do magic because you already do the most magical thing in the world, which is give birth. Right? Everything men do is just, you know, kind of pales in comparison to that. That's why we had to become magicians. We had to be like, look, I sawed a woman in half. And you guys are like, yeah, whatever, I'll make a new one. It's fine, it's fine. You guys in therapy? Round of applause, who's in therapy? Keep it up. Although, I will say this, I feel like my therapist is kind of cocky. I don't know. Because I think there's something cocky. You go in and you sit on the couch, and right next to you is this giant box of tissues. It's kind of cocky. Oh, you're that confident that at some point in the next 45 minutes, I am going to start masturbating. Wow. Wow. Wow, dude. You're not that hot, all right? I can wait till I'm on the subway. All right, come on. It went too far at the end. We all feel the same about that.
But one will be normal, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So we can compare.
Yeah. I mean, normal, sober. Is sober normal?
No, not really.
Sober might be the craziest one of all.
That's true. Yeah, this is actually tamping down your fucked upness.
Sober is the act. Come on.
That's the tagline. There's the slug line, folks. Sober is the real act.
My grandma just got a DNA test, and we wanted to see the results. And it made me realize the only way you know your ethnicity is if you trust your grandparents. That's why it's found. You got to see these results. That's why no more gender reveal parties. You know what I want? More ethnicity reveal parties. I don't care if you're going to have a boy or a girl. I don't care at all, you know? I do want to be there when your Irish grandma finds out she's 25% Puerto Rican. That's my kind of party. I will bring the queso to that party. That'd be an amazing game show. Just racist people find out their real ethnicity. You know, some guy's like, Jews will not replace us. And you're like, well, do we have some bad news for you? Thank you, guys. I'm Matt Ruby. Appreciate you.
Get lost at any point?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah?
There's definitely like a couple like punchlines where well, also because I was like bouncing around. I did some stuff I hadn't done in a while just because I felt like doing it in the moment. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe I'll do alcohol next week and then shrooms the following week, and then we can figure it out from there.
Right. Starting a plane.
Guys, give it up for the very funny Matt Ruby.
I love how she doesn't want anything to do with me. I wish I was on mushrooms right now. Fuck you. I'm just drunk. Mushrooms is next week. Come back. It's all gonna happen. Well, what happened with you dudes? Oh my God. Are you guys influencers? You work in tech. It's the same difference, isn't it? People who work in tech are like influencers who get paid. That's the funniest joke I'm going to tell tonight. I gotta be honest. That's it. All right. Did you not know I'm drunk? I don't know how to tell you. You guys are drunk too. It's the end, right? It's like you had a drink minimum. I had a drink elective. I would like to start drinking, and that way I can get drunk.
How much
and
time
then,
do you have in between now and when you go on?
It's about an hour and 20 minutes.
And how will we know you're drunk?
I brought a breathalyzer. Because I want to make sure that I'm legally intoxicated. I want to be performing when I should not be driving. That's my goal. Hopefully I'm not slurring. That's my big concern is if you slur on stage, they start to lose confidence in you. You know, in general, people who are slurring, they're not spouting wisdom, you know, generally speaking. So I think my goal is to be a little bit loosey-goosey and in flow and, you know, maybe, you know, not as rigid and going to plan necessarily, but without being like, you know, sloppy. I have jokes. I can tell you jokes. I can make you all like, oh, that guy's funny. And I'm like, oh, or I can be like, let's talk to you. Like that guy in the button down. What are you about? No, don't look that way. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, you. You're the most interesting person here. Are you Australian? Irish. I'm gonna take partial credit. I feel like if I'm like, you're gonna catch me, right? Okay. Finally, a drink. This thing is funny. When they put the little condom on the straw, you know you're safe. This makes me trust the straw less. Is that weird? When like, That's weird that they had to put a piece of paper. I called it peeper. Shots. Are these regulation size shots? That's the Jameson. This is the rye.
Cheers.
Hi. Wait, I was supposed to do jokes. Hold on. I shaved my head. Who said it looks great? I love you. Thank you. I wish I didn't have to. Like, you gotta have a good shaped head. It's like it's also when you're a middle-aged white dude who has a shaved head, people have assumptions. It's not good. It's just like you're a skinhead, you cop, you Marine.
It's
like
giving daddy vibes.
Got a good beard.
It is giving daddy vibes. Like,
Daddy vibes is not funny. But I appreciate the sentiment. And also, what does that mean? Daddy vibes.
like you know, like daddy vibes. Like,
You think I'm a daddy? I don't want to raise you. I don't want you to be my children. Daddy, does everyone think I have daddy vibes? Oh my God. Oh. What a fucking reveal for me in my life. I'm old and I understand what you're going through. That's all that's happening. I'm sorry that you're young right now. I understand it sucks. I understand we screwed you over. Daddy vibes. Embrace it. Why? This is the funniest set I've ever had in my life. A bunch of people like, you and Zaddy, yeah, you got this. I'm like, I'm just a grown-up. Have you guys been around a grown-up? No one's been around a grown-up. No one's been look, I just like being an adult. I'm a drunk adult. Yeah, you gotta leave. You can't handle this shit. You can't handle this shit at all.
So you're doing drunk, sober, stoned, shrooms?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're doing all four.
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
It's just like a regular show that I pop in on. They don't know anything about it until the host intros me and says, I'm doing this series of sets, but doesn't say what I'm on.
Yeah.
And so then they get to figure it out.
Exactly.
Or
The mystery's fun.
a little bit, yeah.
Specifically, did you do like shroom sets to prepare?
Never done it.
Fascinating. You've never done stand-up on shrooms before?
No.
Wow.
I mean,
You'll have a blast.
I've done shrooms a lot before.
Yeah,
I
right.
think I'm fascinating when I'm on shrooms. I'm
great.
convinced that everyone should hear me when I am taking shrooms. That might be the shrooms talking. But also, maybe we need to listen to the shrooms. All right?
Yeah.
You think I'm going to be uncomfortable with awkward silence? You don't know me. You don't know me at all. You haven't met my ex-girlfriends. You don't know me at all. Awkward silence? Awkward silence, that's my love language. It's like, I'm not like this, like, every word needs to be in exactly the right place comic, but also there's a little bit of like rhythm to comedy and just sort of like, you know your bits, you know the vibe, this is da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, it goes like this, and when you're drunk, it's like, da-da-da-da-da, you know, it's like a da-da-da-da, you know, it's like, okay, that was a different rhythm. I guess I kind of thought that when I was drunk, I'd be more likable. I like you guys too. I'm super funny. All right. Why are there 2 drinks here?
Down it.
Like, can I? Let me make some art for you. When you look into a glass of bourbon and soda as it goes down your throat and people chant down it, and all you can see is the glimmer. You're like, this is art. Who's that strip? Why do you want me to strip? I'm not sexy. You want me to prove I'm not sexy?
Where did this idea come from?
First of all, it's a stunt just in order to get views. I'm being honest, okay? But like,
I mean, we've got to be famous. Do you usually drink or smoke or something before you go on stage?
not this much.
Really?
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Hey, to Altered States. L'chaim, let's go.
Alright, so it's 20 minutes after eating. Green, okay.
1.5.
You're double the limit.
All right, don't let me drive.
Alright. Let's do comedy.
I had all this shit I was gonna do.
We're ready for it.
Are you? How are you guys? You know what? I made this all about me tonight. All right, we're late. Let's go.
You got the card?
Ooh, wait, I didn't. No, I did. Wait a minute. Fuck, it's working. I mean, alcohol is undefeated. I don't understand angry drunks. I'm like, but you're drunk. Isn't the whole point of drinking to escape your anger? like you're drunk, celebrate. You know, I'm an angry sober. This is just reality. Ugh. Sober again. This again. Like that's how I feel about life. You know, it's like being fucked up's easy. Like sober is the hard part. But like, here's the thing, this stage right here, it's like a very small area of space right here. And I think there's something magical is like a cheap word. I think there's something mystical about it. I think there's something mystical about this area right here where you guys are not online. Right now, you can't look at your phone. Right now, there's like, we're all here in this room in this moment. I know it's awkward. I made it awkward. I get it. But we're all in that awkward together. And like, it's kind of special to be like awkward, to be awkward together. All right, I gotta leave. I fucked with you guys too much. Point to resend it.
What a rat.
No, I think
Ruby. There he is. Listen. Did great, buddy.
What do you think, Gary?
It was intense.
Have you ever seen him like that?
I never seen you like that. You were all over the place. How did it feel?
it's borderline bad. Borderline bad, borderline good the whole time.
So sorry, there's a camera on.
Come in, it's all you, it's all
You're
you.
so fun. I wish we saw you on like drugs.
Come back next week. No, I don't. It's just like I'm trying to make TV instead of trying to kill. I want someone to watch shit and be like, that guy, I'm aligned with.
Yeah.
But I'm also, I'm drunk. I'm drunk. I'm drunk. So
and if they're in
like,
line with you, maybe they're like, I should get help. So you might help people. Like, oh yeah, I actually need some help right now.
well, also, don't we all need help?
The difference though is when you're drunk, any person just sounds like they're a moron. But you're a smart guy, so I think this is a segue into drug money.
I'm a smart moron. I love you.
Congrats, bud. Love you too, man. It was a good job, and
Thank you.
you're on the right. Everything's on the right track.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say I thought you were great, and I really enjoyed it.
Give me a hug.
And I wish that everyone else did too.
Also, it's a shame to literally be drunk. No weed, nothing else. Like, I'm drunk. And like, are you like okay with this? I feel bad. I had so much good stuff. I was gonna deliver it tonight, and then I was just like myself.
Dude, it was awesome.
You liked it?
Loved it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And when you're not plastered, you're funnier. But it was fun.
I agree.
I think you're awesome.
When I'm not drunker, I'm faster. And then when
I don't even know what language you're speaking.
when I'm fucked up, I'm like, that guy's drunk. All right, it doesn't make sense. I gotta leave.
Well, I'm happy I witnessed that. I'll keep it up you
Give me a hug. Good to meet you, man.
Good luck, man. Good luck.
It's good to make magic happen. All right, let's see what happens next. Ah, jeez.
You didn't save me nothing to drink.
It's for film. It's for film. I'm filming. You didn't get me. You get me falling, did you?
Why don't you hold on to me
No, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. All right, no, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck. Evel Knievel is always fascinating to me because it's like, if he just jumps over like one or two buses, we're like, yeah, whatever, man. Anyone could do that. But if it's like too many buses, you see him crash. It's got to be that right number of buses. How does he know the right amount? He's up there like sacrificing his body for his art, and people didn't even think it was art, but it kind of was. I almost feel it's like what comedy is like. If there's not enough buses, people are like, yeah, we saw it coming. And if there's too many buses, they're like, I don't understand where you were going with that. But if it's just the right amount of buses and you stick the landing, then you've got like an amazing joke. I'm not saying I'm not risking my body in that way, but I think there's something noble about the pursuit of it. You know, and the setup, the spectacle of it. Like, hey, like everyone, come see me make it to the other side or not. It's almost been like a lot of pressure, this documentary, to like go for it. I don't want to do that much. I like weed and I like drinking, but I feel like if we're gonna film it, if we're gonna do this whole thing, like, well, come on, dude, you gotta go for it. It's not just a couple of drinks and then you go on stage, anyone can do that. But it's about like ego, there's like some ego stuff, like wanting to seem professional and polished and do your job and like letting that go a little bit, but like, I think it's good to be a professional and to do your job. Like, those are good things, but like, I'm not doing exactly what I've done before. And so there's like some good and bad about that. But it's show business. let's give them a show. I feel like it's time we should get into it, you know? I have like a little chart here. You want to see? This is a little chart of so these are the chocolates. So this is an entire bar. One square is 0.125 grams. So like 1 to 2 of those is like a microdose.
Okay.
A museum dose, I think, would be like this.
Okay. So, Matt, where do these terms come from?
I didn't know much about them years ago. I think it's as like mushrooms are kind of like becoming more popular and recommended. It's just sort of like someone just used to give me a bag of mushrooms and I would eat them, and I was just like, I'll give me all the mushrooms and I'll eat them and I'll be tripping, you know. So I think now it's when microdosing got introduced, which in my world was like 5 to 10 years ago, and so that's like the people are like, I take a little bit and I'm more creative at work or whatever that kind of shit is. And then I think I had just learned museum dose. I just learned about that, but that sounds nice. It's sort of like the amount that you can feel really good and go to a museum, but you can still talk. You can still like function in society. And then there's like a heroic dose or macro dose is when you go all the way of like, you know, your ego death and like you're not able to like function or like, you know, do stuff. So I'm trying to dial in more than micro, but less than macro.
Okay.
Like I'm trying to do all the time in my life, you know?
Yeah.
It's just the right amount. I just want the appropriate.
Right.
You know? Yeah. Is that a good answer for you?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
All right.
And now I'm going to bring up your next comic. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Matt Ruby.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Boo. Can you tell? You came on the right night. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being part of this and like coming out and like you didn't even know you're being part of it. So I guess it's weird that I'm thanking you in advance. But I feel gratitude towards you. Feel gratitude towards. Well, comedy is a partnership. There's the person on stage telling the jokes, but if I was doing it in my room, I'd just be a crazy person, you know? So it's a dialogue. So you guys, I've done other kinds of art. There's no art that's more of a partnership than comedy. Like, I need you, you know? And so, yeah, don't. I'm about to tell a bunch of dick jokes. Don't get excited, all right? It's not going to be like that the whole time. Does that seem right? Does that seem like 2 squares?
A little bit more, but let's in a minute.
Well, you take a little nugget off.
There we go.
How about
That's
that?
what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Cool. Are we cheers in this? How are we doing this?
You just go ahead. You go for it. Bon voyage. Okay. I'm starting to feel not overwhelmed, but like definitely like things are floating up. It's a little more like in the limbs, you know, like knees and elbows, and like it's weird sometimes if you're like walking and you'll be like, oh, I'm not really feeling it that much, and then all of a sudden you'll stop.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, oh, now things are pulsing and moving. I can't handle the inconsistency of the thickness of hand sanitizer. I just feel like by now we should have settled on the proper viscosity. And every time it's just like a slot machine. Sometimes I hit that pump, I'm like, this is just vodka. What are we doing with this? Did we give up? Are we just doing shots and crossing our fingers? Is that where we are? And then other times I hit that pump and it's so like thick and slippery and greasy. I'm like, are we about to get freaky in this Walgreens? What's about to go down right now? I'm just feeling very lubed up for a Tuesday afternoon. I'm not saying no, I just have a few questions, that's all. So like alcohol, I think is all ego. It's like you're the only person in the world when you're drunk, and it's like, who cares what other people think? And then psychedelics, I think, is all like ego death or being minimized of like, oh, we're all connected. Like everything is, I'm just part of this system, and it's all my life, everything's all about me, and all I could think about is how things impact me. But now all of a sudden I'm like, I have compassion for things that are around me and empathy, and we're all like connected, and I'm part of this bigger system, and like.
What does weed do? Like, is it in the middle?
I think weed and edibles, I think, starts to borderline on that psychedelic territory. I don't think it has quite the same impact, but it's headed more in that direction. But like, alcohol is more like building walls. It's like you build a wall between you and what's around you, and you're just like, all that matters is me. And mushrooms is like, I don't matter at all. I don't even exist.
Right, yeah.
I'm not a person who has hardcore philosophical beliefs. I want to fit in. I want people to like me. You know, so that's why I don't get these people who are like super like opinionated about like masks and stuff. I don't know. I'm riding the subway in New York City. I'll wear a mask. That's fine. I'm at a mall in Phoenix. I'm raw dogging it. I'm fitting in, all right, wherever I go. I just want to fit in everywhere. Like if I'm flying Air France to Paris, I'll sip champagne. I'll be polite. All right? I'm flying Spirit Air to Tampa. I'm taking meth and cursing out a flight attendant. Let's roll. Let's roll. You're going to duct tape me to the seat by the end of that flight. That's what's going to happen there. It's Tampa. Just want to fit in. I went to a lot of those like Black Lives Matter rallies, you know? It's like, no justice, no peace. If you bring me to a NASCAR race, I'll be like, let's go, Brandon. All right. Just don't want to get beat up. That's my political philosophy. It is weird, you know? Because I was at all those rallies. You know, we were all chanting. We were like, all cops are bastards. Now I got on the subway at 1 a.m. I'm like, where the hell are those bastards? I sure could use some bastards right about now. I am suffering from a bastard deficit in my life. But yeah, it's interesting how we changed how we view cops. Cops were like heroes. Went from heroes to bastards. That's quite a shift. And you know who I feel bad for? We're not talking about is male strippers who dress up like cops. No one is talking about their plight. Because they were like top of the food chain at the strip club. Everyone loved Officer Steve. Now it's a whole new reality. They're like, please welcome to the stage, Officer Steve. Everyone there's like, boo! Send out a social worker who can treat mental health issues. That's what makes me horny now. Defund Officer Steve and give his singles to a community organization. That's what makes me wet.
Is that an elephant's ear, or is that me just imagining?
Where?
Whoa.
Whoa. I mean, it looks like an elephant ear.
Yeah, okay, cool. Great.
You just imagine it, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Tree's not even there.
You came out, turned off your phones. How you doing without your phones? Is everyone okay? You know that you're on drugs. In your pocket, that feeling that you have right now of wanting to check your phone, that's some junkie shit. All right? Ever been on the subway when it like goes above ground and everyone's like, ah! The airplane that lands, the whole fucking, ah! Fucking junkies. Whatever. Love your laugh. You're great. Is this your son?
Yeah.
Yeah? It's okay that he's your son. He seems nice. Is this your dad?
Yeah, this is my dad.
Okay. I could tell. Yeah. It's funny, no one in the room other than me can see you. Yet they can all tell too. It's nice. Well, that's cool that you came out with your dad to a show. You guys do a lot of stuff together? I can't figure out who knows a secret from who right now. So like what I see right here is like this gray, and like it's just like pulsing, like it's alive or something. But you can't. As soon as you point it out, it stops doing it. You just got to be like subtle.
What did you say? Is it beating? Did you say or?
No, it's more like blurring and together, and like a blur pulse kind of thing. That's beautiful though. It looks great, you know. He gets it.
In a quarter mile, make a right turn on Flatbush Avenue extension.
You You have an idea and you go on stage and you say it and you hone it and then you say it again and you say it again and you say it again. And that's beautiful, but also it's a little like each joke's like a little box. But then it's like, I think great comedy is about boxes. The comedians that I love, how do you work in your flow and your personality with something that's been like repeated over and over again?
Right.
Is part of the challenge. It's also a joke will stop working. That's the fascinating thing, because it's the same words, same rhythm, and all of a sudden it doesn't work anymore, and you're like, why doesn't this work anymore? And it's like, I think subconsciously you're on autopilot and the crowd can perceive it. That they've locked in, that you're not aligned, you're not in tune with this joke anymore. I was at this like health food coffee shop the other day. I just feel confused a lot, because I ordered a latte, and the barista asked me what kind of milk I want. I was like, skim. And then she had a follow-up question I was not prepared for. She's like, what kind of dust do you want on it? Angel? I don't know. What do you got here? What's on the... Saw? Can I get a saw latte? An aspestochino, please. I don't understand what's happening. And, yeah, are you guys like nut milk people? I'm getting like an oat milk vibe over here. Sensing some weak bones, My theory is that you can tell what generation someone is by what milk they drink. I think that's the tell nowadays. Because seniors, they drink whole milk because they're like, whatever, we're about to die. It's fine, all right? And boomers, they drink 2% because 2% is how much of the ozone layer they left us, right? Feel aligned with that number. I'm Gen X, we drink skim. Millennials drink almond. Gen Z drinks oat. Younger than that, breast milk. That's how you know. That's the formula. So I was like, I drink rice milk. Watch out, that dude's from the future, all right? That is a nut milk terminator sent back to destroy you. You guys should do mushrooms. That's just a public service announcement.
You got a set picked out, or you gonna wing it?
So I got some stuff I want to do. Oh, look at that, empty. All right, here we go.
Maybe 8 more than you think.
I want to be mindful about what I'm doing right now. I feel like just like a little bit more. This is like a 0.1 gram sort of thing.
Go for it.
Okay.
How often are you going to do a special on shrooms?
Well, it's also, I don't want to do a special where it's like, is that guy really on shrooms?
Right, yes. Got to be real.
Do you all believe me? Do you believe that I'm on shrooms right now?
I wonder if you're really going to, because I've done comedy drunk, I've done it high, and I've done it on edibles, which was pretty wild.
Yeah, I was really high when I did the high
really?
set.
I saw it, yeah, it was good. But this, I wonder if you'll feel the laughs. It's going to be a whole different experience. It's going to be a love fest.
I'm excited. Well, like, it's going to be a truth fest, man.
Ooh, yeah.
But like, if it was MDMA, I feel like that's like lovey-dovey. But it's like,
good point.
I don't know. I just feel like, can we get through all the bullshit?
What bullshit?
All of it. All of it. What bullshit? It's everywhere. Everyone's pretending all the time,
The cool thing about shrooms is you kind of see through everything. The filter's gone.
Yeah. I have a whole nother chocolate bar. Hold on. What do I have in my bag of goods here? I want to take one. It's nice to have the actual, like an actual stem, Mm-hmm. Like, I like the chocolates and all, but I feel like there's something about you can do one more stem. I want. All right. This father-son love that sounded wrong. I didn't mean that, but like. No, I want to talk about my mom. All right. 'Cause my mom took more drugs than I could ever take in my life, so that's why, like, I remember, this is a true story, like 7th grade health class, they tried to scare you away from doing drugs, so they showed us this special, and it was all about, like, how if you do LSD, you could have a flashback. Yeah, flashback. 20 years later, you could be driving, have a flashback. You drive right off the road. Wow, scary. And my mom picked me up from school that day. We were in the parking lot, and I was like, Mom, did you ever take acid? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, more than once? And she's like, oh yeah. And I was like, buckle up. for this ride. Because my mom, before I was born, had this whole life. She lived in this neighborhood. She lived in the Lower East Side in a house on Ludlow Street. And she dated this guy named Angus, and they lived there together. And they used to throw these art happenings, these art events called Rights of the Dream Weapon. And there would be like movies and dancers and music and all this crazy like underground counterculture stuff. And I found a flyer for one of these events because my mom's not alive anymore. I Googled her name and it showed up with one of these flyers for one of these events. And it was Rights of the Dream Weapon. And I downloaded the flyer and the address on it was 85 East 4th Street, which we're all at 85 East 4th Street right now. Yeah, and so then I started Googling, okay, Rights of the Dream Weapon, and then I found a guy named Sterling Morrison had talked about that event and about how him and his buddies, Lou and John and Angus, all played music together for the first time at that event. And that was Lou Reed and John Cale and Sterling Morrison and Angus McLeese, the Velvet Underground. And so I just learned this week from doing this project that my mom produced this event where the Velvet Underground performed together for the first time, and we're all sitting in that space. And I'm trying to figure out what the point of all that is. But it's also like just sometimes you start making something and you just like, you don't know exactly what it is or where you're going, but you just like start going in that direction and then it starts revealing itself to you as you're going. It's almost like a ship that you're building as you're sailing. You just keep putting new boards in and then trying to get to the other side. And that's kind of what like the act of creation is, and all the time. Just like, I think we got a leak. Anyone got a bucket? What do we do, you know? And I am on a museum dose of mushrooms right now. I didn't want to take a micro dose because I think that's for soccer moms. That's what I think a micro dose is. Like, just take you don't have to be more creative at work. I just took a little bit of mushrooms to be more productive at work. You're doing them wrong. You're doing that. You should take mushrooms and be like, why do I go to work? That is the proper dosage of mushrooms. Why do I keep going here? And also, everyone nowadays is doing like in these clinical settings to treat therapy or to treat anxiety and PTSD, and like it's white walls and we blindfold you and there's a person there holding your hand. I'm like, that's fine. You can do mushrooms that way. Or you can go to the woods with your friends and take a heroic dose of mushrooms and be connected to the universe. And I want to advocate for that too. Because not everything needs to be co-opted by capitalism, all right? Not everything needs to be for profit and accepted by like academia and like Peter Thiel, all right? That doesn't, we can still be wild, we can still be underground, we can make an event that has all of us coming together in a room and being like, what the fuck was that? Do I have time to do one more? I gotta go. Okay. I didn't do a heroic dose because I've done that before, and it's. I'll tell you what happened last time I did a heroic dose of mushrooms. Because my friend, sometimes shit gets heavy. My friend asked me, "Do you think when we die you're turned into dirt, or do you believe in reincarnation?" I was like, I don't know. I think your body, you go into the ground, you decompose, yeah, you turn into dirt. And then, like, the worms crawl through you, and the sun shines down on you, and the water comes into the soil, and some DNA part of you gets activated, and you're just like, I got to go towards the light. And then you just start going towards the light. And then one day you're at the surface, and you're like a bird with, like, a beak and its shell, and you're just trying to, like, get above the surface and go towards the light. And then you're a blade of grass. And then you're above the ground, and then some cow comes by and like eats you, and you're inside this cow, and you're like, well, that's trippy. And now Now you're inside this cow, and then one day that cow gets slaughtered, sorry, and it gets turned into a hamburger, though, and then served at a diner, and some little kid takes a bite, and all of a sudden you're inside this little kid. And so it's like, do I believe in reincarnation, or do I think you just turned to dirt? Yes. All of the above. What? Don't make me choose. Why are you making me choose? Because that's what we all want to keep going towards the light. We just have that in our DNA, this desire. And also, it's like when you're dying, people near-death experiences, they always talk about like there's a tunnel, and there was a light, and I felt like I was being pulled towards the light, and that's what it feels like to die in a near-death experience. And then I started thinking about like, well, what does it feel like to be born? If that's what it feels like to die. I was like, well, probably when you're being born, you're inside your mom's birth canal, and it probably like feels like there's just this long tunnel, and then, something spreads and some light comes in, and you're just being pulled towards the light. And being born maybe is just another version of dying, and dying is another version of being born. And we keep thinking it's going to end or it's going to begin, but it's always just going, and it's just on you to decide when you want to be present. And that's why I'm never taking a heroic dose of mushrooms again. I'm never doing it again. But they've given me the light, so I'm going to go towards it. Thank you so much. I love you. Good night.
Thank you. Keep it going for Matt Ruby, everybody.
Yeah, it felt good. I felt like everything that was aligned to this moment came to where it should be. So, yeah. Thanks, man.
And then next week is
sober.
Sober.
Now that seems scary.
Yeah.
Sober seems like the scariest one of all.
Right.
So, so please welcome to the stage the very funny and talented Matt Ruby.
Thank you. I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is I'm sober. That is also the bad news. I'm sorry. You missed a hell of a week last week.
What do you want to do on stage? What's the act? What's more you, being sober, being up? Like do you want to do material? Do you just want to say whatever's on your mind? What's better? What's worse? What do they want?
Did you do the drunken high sets yesterday?
No, it's been every Wednesday I've been doing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I needed recovery time.
It'd be a hard one to be like
the 4 day in a row.
Yeah. Especially after mushrooms.
Like night 3, you're just kind of like.
I mean, high was good, but like chill. Drunk was sloppy and a mess, and then Shrooms was like a really nice sort of combo.
Can you recall the moment when you were drunk? I
had to listen. I didn't remember a thing I said.
Okay.
I had to listen
So you got that drunk though?
I was really hammered.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to just be like I had a couple drinks and went on stage.
But a lot of times when you see people drinking in comedy, they're like, what you did is not what I would say what people are doing when they're drinking during comedy. If they're falling down.
That's
not what you want.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you're sober, you should know people do not find you interesting. You should know that no one's like, yeah, that sober guy's coming to our party. Never. What's happening? Also, if you don't drink, I think you have to tell people why. I don't like when someone's like, I don't drink, and it's just like a cliffhanger. Like I'm supposed to figure it out. Like if someone's like, I don't drink, I'm like, well, wait a minute, are you Mormon? Are you driving? Are you some square who's never been fun in your entire life? Or were you so much fun you had an ankle bracelet? Like which flavor of sobriety? Sobrieties are like diabetes. I need to know, type 1 or type 2? What are we working with here? I need to know if it's your fault, really. And I will say this, if you're a woman of a certain age and you stop drinking, you got to be careful how you reveal that information to other people, right? Because this girl I know, she stopped drinking, you know, early 30s, stopped drinking. We went out, big group dinner, all her friends were there. Server came by, any wine for the lady? She's like, oh, actually, I'm not drinking. All of her friends go, are you pregnant? And everyone in the room turned to her and she had to be like, no, I have a problem. And I can't get rid of it that easily. Which is true. It's easier to get rid of a pregnancy problem than a drinking problem, which is kind of crazy. Like if you're pregnant nowadays, you take a couple pills, problem solved. You know, you got a drinking problem, you take a couple pills, you just doubled your problem, all right? There's a whole new set of meetings you have to go to. I get, there does seem to be a split decision in this room. There is. It's like you guys are watching a documentary about them watching a comedy show. You know you can have this if you want it, right?
I really quit drinking around 22, and I would dabble, you know, like occasionally, like a party or something. But I tried to drink a couple times to do comedy, and I could not. I was so bad with, like, I'd have a drink, and I couldn't do. My timing was off. My cadence was off. Like it was like I didn't know how to do it. And what's weird about it is that I smoked weed before almost every single set my first 10 years of comedy, but alcohol was some weird.
Well, they're different. I mean, my weed set I liked. My alcohol set I did not like. It was like we put them in the same pile as like they're doing the same thing to your brain when they're really like, I think depending on your different body and reaction, they're a whole different, you know, experience. Moving into that sober sphere, like, is there things you can identify that changed or like an approach that's different?
I'm sadder. No.
I like hanging out at bars. Like I met my girlfriend at a bar, which is interesting because that used to be a trashy thing to tell people. Now people are very impressed if you met anywhere in reality. They're very impressed by that. It's like, where'd you guys meet? At a bar. Ooh, how romantic. It's like, yeah, I was double fisting. I spilled a drink on her. It's like a fairy tale. It's like, yeah, she didn't even remember my name the next day. Vintage. You guys are like vinyl. Love it. And that's why this is my thing about cancel culture. I don't think we can cancel people for things they did in the past. Because if we keep doing that, we're not going to be allowed to ask our grandparents how they met. That's going to be off the table. Right? You ever try that? Like, Grandma, how'd you meet Grandpa? She's like, well, I was 14 and he was 38. Like, no. Do not like this story. Grandma, not in the light of today. Yeah, he saw me at the store and he just followed me home. No. That is not enthusiastic consent, Grandma. That's not what we like anymore. Like, yeah, and then he just stood on the porch and wouldn't leave until I agreed to marry him. I'm like, oh, great. We gotta cancel Grandpa. I had no idea. I had no idea we had a Grandpa Cuomo in the family. I didn't know. Grandpa. But sometimes old people, they're so far behind, they're back ahead again. Like my grandpa, I saw some story on the news about doxing, and he'd never heard of that. He's like, I heard people are being attacked by doxing. What's that? I'm like, oh, it's this thing online where people reveal your name and phone number and address. It's this vicious form of attack. And he just goes, you mean like the phone book? I guess it is kind of like the phone book now, isn't it? But this is in public where anyone can see it. He's like, yeah, we left it on your doorstep. What's wrong with you people? I'm like, we got soft, Grandpa. That's what happened to us.
I just remember being on Shrooms and talking to you before the show and how everything was just flowing from my brain to my mouth and coming out. And then when I'm sober, there's just like this split second of like an editor. And I think that's probably like a healthy thing to have in life in general, but it's interesting how it can get in the way sometimes of making compelling art.
Women love these true crime podcasts and documentaries, and then you're going out on dates with strange men that you meet on the internet. How did you decide that's a good combination? How did that happen? It's a bad idea, because then I don't like it, because then I went out on online dates. You got to walk in on defense. Like, I went out on this online date. The girl's like, first thing she said, how do I know you're not some sort of serial killer? I was like, oh my God, you've got the wrong idea about me. There is no way I am going to pay that much attention to you. All right? This is a lack of attentiveness special here. I don't know. It's a lot of ego to think that it's going to be that amazing to murder you, that I'm going to be willing to clean up a crime scene. Like, I'll put a towel down on the bed once a month, but that's the ceiling to how much blood I'm willing to clean in this relationship, all right? I'm just trying to be upfront about where I'm at in my life. She's like, wow, sounds like someone's afraid of women. I'm like, wrong again. I'm also afraid of men, all right? I have a non-binary fear. I have a fluid fear. She's like, wow, are you like on the spectrum? I'm like, I'm not going to answer that. She's like, why, too personal? I'm like, nah, I just don't accept the question. Did you drop your skateboard? I'm back on their side. I'm back on their side now. Good Lord. How old are you, sir? 21? You got 2 years left, all right? I'm just telling you right now. That's it. That's the max age. And then you gotta get a life. You do some sweet tricks. No ollies. What do you got? You got a half pipe in the backyard? What do you got? You used to. Holding on to the past. I know what it's like. You watch that Tony Hawk documentary? Yeah, he's pretty cool, huh? I can vibe with the kids. Man, when he nailed that 720, I was like, yeah, Tony! Did I finish the spectrum joke? I don't think I did. It's not gonna work now. Yet I'm tempted to do it anyway. All right. For the cameras. So she's like, are you on the spectrum? I'm like, I'm not gonna answer that. Why not? Too personal? I was like, no, I just don't accept the question, are you on the spectrum? Because you know what's on the spectrum? Everything. That's how spectrums work. It's the entire meaning of the word spectrum. It's a totality that includes the subset. There's nothing that's off the spectrum. So how could I say whether or not something's on the spectrum? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, can you name a color that's not on the color spectrum? Like, you can't, because that would be a black hole. So I reject the entire premise of the question, are you on the spectrum? And she just goes, so you are on the spectrum. I'm like, yeah, probably. If I feel this strongly about spectrums, I am on one. I am on it. I am on it.
Listen, I think that the whole experiment is great because you get to see different sides of, what it takes to be a performer. A performer, I don't think can perform drunk. You can, but you can't. It's like
a tightrope walker that's drunk. It's not going to go well.
Exactly. I mean, you're just creating obstacles in front of yourself. Right. And I think when you're obviously a good comedian, and when you're doing a set that's sober, even high, and even on, I watched the one, the mushroom one. That's like all these they mesh well together. I think drunk is just such a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Now, maybe a drink is doable, and you could feel loose. And I've had a drink on stage.
No, I went too far with it. I mean, was the whole point. But the drunk night, what did we talk about? What did I say? What did you say?
Well, I was stoned, so I don't know.
Oh, perfect. All right.
I did the Shroom set, and that was cool. But I learned something, which is you can't order an Uber when you're on Shrooms. Because Uber does not respect the laws of time and space. Because Uber will tell you that your car is 3 minutes away for 12 minutes. And when you're on mushrooms, you're like, we broke the space-time continuum. Also, how is this car the size of 3 blocks? But yeah, I'm supposed to figure out what I learned through this project. And so I listened to all the sets. And there was one thing that kept coming up that I didn't plan on saying in any of them, but it came up each time, which is that I feel gratitude towards you guys for being here, and I think the comedy club and stage is like a holy space. And so I've been thinking about why is that the one thing that comes up, because it's kind of like hippy-dippy, you know? And I think it's because our lives, we got, I don't know, everyone's so angry. We're so furious. There's this cancel culture stuff, the politics, the tribalism. Everyone's anxious. Everyone's depressed. And I just think the antidote to all of it is what we're doing right now. Thank you. You're the antidote. Together, we're the antidote. Right? I think a room full of people coming together to laugh or dance or sing or worship or whatever is the antidote to everything that's going negative, and we just got to get off screens. And I think to me it's the closest I get to religion is having that experience, and I'm so grateful and thankful for it in my life that I think it keeps coming out of my subconscious when I just let it rip. But whatever, you guys just came to one show. You don't deserve that much. You don't get that much credit, but I'll label you as a general audience. No, but thank you, I appreciate it. So, but I should end on a joke, right? I should say something funny. And jokes are all about what's relatable. So what's a good relatable subject to end on? Probably death. I feel like that's... We all have death in common, right? That's even you, skateboarder. It's maybe faster than others, actually, you know? Just going by the stats, you know? But I think it's weird that old people don't die anymore. That's what I feel like. I think we've all noticed it, but it's not a popular thing to say. But it's weird that it used to be you turn 65 and you retire, and you turn 80 and you die. That's how it used to be. And now you turn 65 and you retire, and you turn 80, you become president. It's an entirely different landscape that we're not talking about. Our past 2 presidents have both been 80 years old, which is insane. It's insane that they're 80 years old. Imagine your Uber driver showed up. And he was 80 years old. You would be on the phone with Uber immediately. What are you guys doing? They'd be oh, did he show up late? It's no. He's had his turn signal on for 25 minutes. And we're still in the driveway. This is not safe. I don't want to see an 80-year-old doing any job. That's where I'm at in my life. I don't want to see an 80-year-old construction worker. I don't want to see that. He's just out there with the road crew. He's whoa. He doesn't even have a jackhammer. That's just what he does. He's I'm just saying, if the presidential candidates, if they're going to keep being this old, I don't want to see any more debates. No more debates. No more debates. Yeah, I want to see them both try to check out of an online store. I want to see them use a QR code, screen share a Zoom meeting, and then check out of an online store. That's what I want to see. You can't figure out coupon codes, you don't get the nuclear codes. That's my philosophy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I think we got it.
Where you going?
We're gonna get $1 slice.
All right.
That's the exclamation point to every comedy performance in New York City. You want to capture New York City?
Pepperoni and mushroom for me, please.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you. I'm doing like 1 show high, 1 drunk, 1 on shrooms, and 1 sober.
No, I
and
didn't.
filming all of them.
That's just the weekend for me. That's just what I do. I just do that normally. No, I'm doing a special where I do 1 show drunk, 1 show drunk, 1 show drunk.